Support your state trooper.
I'm Trooper Dave Levandusky of the Indiana State Police.
A Cuban fella jumped up and had a big long hunting knife and cut a black fella's throat. Thank goodness the man made it. He survived it. We got him to a hospital and he survived it. But when it happened, the driver pulled off the road, of course, and the bus emptied out along with the Cuban fella. And he took off running out through the boondocks. Well, we didn't find him that day, but the next day when I come to work, we got a report that some of the people out in that area had seen him running around through the woods out there. So a whole bunch of fellas, troopers, responded. We searched the woods and didn't find him the first trip. Second trip through the woods, we was gonna close our line in so we'd be closer together. And just as I got ready to start into the woods, I heard someone holler, "There he is." So I thought he was on the run. But so I just dropped down and had my gun out. I was going to wait for him to come out of that woods. Well, he didn't come out, so I took off and went over to where they had seen him. And he was sitting back in a patch of honeysuckles with his back against a big oak tree. And he still had the knife. And we formed kind of a semicircle around him and was ordering him to come out. And every time we'd order him to come out, he would say, "Come on in and get me, man." Well, we knew what that would result in. There would be somebody getting all cut up. So every time we grabbed those honeysuckles, he'd cut at us. And one of the troops off to my left had an Army carbine rifle. And the next time the guy cut at us, well, he swung that rifle and hit the guy's hand, knocked the knife out of his hand, but he also hit a tree limb. And it broke the stock on the rifle. And it just flopped right on over and landed almost in this guy's lap. And a little added thing there is, if you're in a situation like that, you'll never be able to get it to come back at actual speed in your mind. Anytime you see it, it's always in slow motion. But anyway, the fella reached down and scooped the rifle up and the knife up. And when he come up, he put it about 3 inches off the end of my nose. I had my gun out, but I knew if I shot him and hit him in the shoulder or something, I was a dead man. So, out of self-preservation, not out of bravery, I just dove in at him. And I grabbed the gun and the knife and was trying to push it up out of my face before he could pull the trigger, and he was trying to push it down into my face so he could pull the trigger. And it seemed like we had a Cuban standoff for a while. And we were looking each other right in the eye. And as I told the major, this fella had a real determined look in his eye, and I had a real scared look in my eye because I was scared. Anyway, as we were fighting over the gun, another trooper, good friend of mine, shot him with a 12-gauge shotgun. And when the gun went off, I heard it, and I felt the pressure on the gun ease up, and I felt the muzzle blast come out past my face, so I thought he'd shot me. And like I told them earlier, I'd never been shot before. I didn't know if you had to do a backflip or what before you feel all that pain. But I remember dropping my head down and asking, did he shoot me in the head? And I then heard the fellow on my left that shot him said, I shot him. And he just slumped back against a tree, and I'm sure he didn't live 5 seconds. But that's one of the situations I got into in my time on the department.